Hello,
Good evening.
how are you?
Hello, Loueen. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's such an honor and a privilege to be speaking to you today. We'll just wait a few minutes, maybe a minute or two before we start. We've got a couple of people already joining.
Yes, I can see some people there. Hello, Nicola. Hello, Shara. I can see them all coming on. That's fantastic.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I am in conversation with Medina. Medina is the founder of Bold Woman. And the message of Bold resonates with me because if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, then you know that I'm a goal setter. So before I start and ask Medina to introduce herself, my name is Loueen. I'm an HR practitioner. I teach the principles of goal setting. I have a program where you follow a 13-step program or 13 steps in order to achieve your goal. And my philosophy is live one goal at a time, and I am certain that if you follow these steps, you will be able to create the life you want. Not the life you settle for, but the life that you want. So Medina, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself for our listeners this evening.
Okay, so I'm Medina Harverye. I am a self-made entrepreneur, businesswoman. I've been blessed enough to travel the world. And that's how the birth of the Bold Woman came along, because it's really about my life experiences that I want to share with many. You know, we all go through so much in life, but we hold so much back. We hold it to ourselves instead of paying it forward and sharing. So my background is marketing. I come from a marketing background. I am born girl from Bulawayo, which I proudly say, proudly Zimbabwean, but for most of my life, I have lived here in South Africa. So it's been a hustle, and yeah, I'm just a mixture of everything. You know, I'm a grandmother, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a colleague, and most of all, I'm on fire for Christ. And I'm here to make a difference, a big, big difference. And I believe that finally in life, I'm starting to live my calling.
Oh, that's amazing. So I'm very interested, and I think because we only have a half an hour with you, and the intention is for us to wrap up by 7:30. Maybe just briefly outline what is the Bold Woman? What does it cover? What does it entail? Who will it benefit? What is the program all about?
Okay, so the Bold Woman was actually birthed by me just looking at life and the challenges that I went through life. Now, I believe that there's a place for everybody. There's a place for coaching. There's a place for psychologists. There's a place for psychiatrists. There's a place for counselors. And I had experience going to a number of these. Hence, I found that my life journey had so many challenges that if I came up with a program of sorts, I don't know if you'd actually call it a program, but just a way of life that I could share with many others that would guide them and help them to give them the tools to become better versions of themselves. And coming from a corporate background, I found that in so many instances, I tried to package it and I tried to put a specific program together. And I kept falling on my face because it wasn't resonating with the inside of me. You know, I was trying to put it together according to society, according to corporate, and not according to what felt right. And believe it or not, when COVID came up and I was asked to speak on a number of platforms like you and I are doing now, that's when I realized that my voice actually travels, my energy actually connects online. And I started really doing things more my way and what resonated with me, to find that many, many women resonated with it as well. And really what the Bold Woman is about, it's a space that women come into, that they are truly, truly comfortable. I share my journey with them, and you find, because there are so many pain points to that journey, many women around the table resonate with a specific pain point, and then we start delving into those particular topics. And people walk away with the tools to become better versions of themselves. But it's a space where you allow yourself to be vulnerable and share your truth. And I just guide it.
Okay, so I'm in HR, and we like to put labels on things. And in my conversations with you, I've been trying to understand and unpack. Okay, what is it that's, or what am I going to receive if I attended one of your conversations, or one of your counseling sessions, or one of your group sessions? And I keep on coming back to the place. Okay, so maybe it's a bold woman program, but maybe unpack for us what exactly is it? Or no, maybe I should ask you this question, because this might help the conversation.
Yeah.
So when I started on my journey, and I used by default the process of goal setting. So I followed a systematic approach. I was in a place where I needed to get out of. And you know that I was running a small consulting firm, and I had lost everything, and I needed to pick up my pieces, and I needed to get a move on. And so by default, I used the process of goal setting. And over time, by setting a goal and achieving a goal and setting another goal and achieving that goal, I cultivated a lifestyle of goal setting.
Right.
And so today I'm able to teach on that. I'm now trying to understand exactly what it is that the bold woman offers.
Okay, so the bold woman, I don't like to box, and I don't like to conform, but if we're going to, just for people to understand, it's self-development. It's about developing yourself. It's about being true to yourself. It's about allowing yourself to be vulnerable, allowing yourself to go to those places that you're afraid to go to. So many of us are so attached to what society thinks of us. And we show up in a certain manner, which is really not true to who you really are. So what the bold woman allows you to is to come into this space, and I guide you through sharing my own journey and my own learnings, and allowing myself to get absolutely naked. There are so many shameful spaces that we've all experienced, but we hold it in a closet. We so often fear the goodness.
So give me an example. So I'm latching onto the word shameful spaces. Yeah. Give me an example.
Okay, so as I was being raised, I have gone through rejection. I have gone through fear. I have gone through divorce. I have gone through abuse. I have gone through so many things where guilt has played a part, and it's like you sit on all of this and you build walls that are so high that you yourself cannot even get over these walls. So what happens in the space is it allows you, and I must say to you, there is a greater power that is beyond me. I'd like to call it the Holy Spirit, but it doesn't matter what religious denomination you belong to. The power is so great in this space, and it actually leads us. So with you ready to overflow, because you can only give from the overflow. If you don't have overflow, there's nothing to give from. And if you don't know who you are, because many of us don't even know who we are, we show up as what society expects us to show up as. And in the bold woman, it's about finding yourself first. And I love what you said about goal setting, because this is why we connect, because goal setting is imperative in your life. Now, there is a place for that, but in order to even understand what your goal is, you need to know who you are, and you need to know what you want. Then if you don't unpack all of that, where are you?
Yeah. So in my process, in terms of the 13 steps on goal setting, I've labeled it, reflection and introspection. So for me, that is step one. So my next question for you then is, how did you get to the place that you're currently in? So you've gone through a journey, and you are now labeled as the bold woman. So what brought you to that place?
Well, pain, heartache, suffering, a lot of it, disabling, enabling, and I never really dealt with my innermost pain. So I am a huge success in my own right. I've achieved so many things, but so much of what I've achieved was fear-based. Now, we either achieved through fear or we achieved through love. And most of my achievements have been through fear. And I got to a point where I was tired of the treadmill. You're running and running on this treadmill and you keep falling flat. And then you get up again and you run and you keep falling flat. And I'm a planner. I'm a goal setter. I'm a go-getter. So in everything I do, it will align with what you're doing, Loueen, because I plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, as Denzel Washington would say. So whether you call it goal setting, whether you call it planning, there's so many different ways of framing it. But what brought me to building the bold women is I felt that if I have achieved so much from a space of fear, and I can share my journey with many, many people, I can assist so many people to dig deep down inside of them and find the power in their own voices. And everybody has that power. And no matter how you choose to plan it, and a lot of it would be through goal setting, you need to allow your voice to be heard. You need to be vulnerable. People see vulnerability as a weakness. It's one of the biggest strengths, as Brené Brown would say. So what are you doing to become the best version of you? And I realized that I was helping so many people, but in small spaces, because my energy is contagious. Now it works for some, it doesn't work for others, but I connect, and there's a supernatural power, which I believe is the Holy Spirit in the pit of my stomach, that leads me to help others. I come from an Islamic background, and found Christianity. And this is why I don't box whatever religion you're at, because the bold woman is for everybody. And I just share my truth in the trust that it will help you to share your truth. And we hold hands just to get to the other side of the bridge for you to flourish. Because the true leader leads so that the followers are not actually followers, they're leaders that become better than you.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, then it's not a structured program. The program, and I do apologize for labeling it, because I know that you don't want to label the program.
It's fine.
So if I understand you correctly, then the session with the participants kind of takes its own shape and its own form depending on what is happening on that particular day.
Correct. How much they put in is how much they're going to get out. So they arrive here, say at 9 o'clock, but we have a screening process. We're a team of wonderful women. Zizo, Asa, Sharice, they're all on board. And one of them will actually take a call just to assess where are you at, because this space is such an honest space. It's a space where you're allowed to be vulnerable. It's a trusting space, and you need to be ready for it, because if you don't have what it is to put in, then you're not going to get much out. It's not a space where you're a spectator. It's not a space where I'm a keynote speaker. It's a space where I'm going to share, but what you put in is what you're going to get out. So you arrive at 9 o'clock in the morning after you've gone through the process, and the chef, Cocoa and Spice, feeds you all day. So you eat, we have drinks, and we have courageous conversations. And those courageous conversations, there's certain topics that undoubtedly come up. And that's the like of guilt, fear, rejection, all the different pain points. and then we speak that through, and we give you the tools to walk away and be able to apply things to your own life so that you can become the better version of what you're truly meant to be.
Okay, so I want you to walk me through one. So if, for example, if fear is the issue on that particular day.
Right. Then what am I going to, okay, then I'm going to talk about different instances in my life where I was extremely fearful, and how, as the word says, fear, false evidence appearing real. But you need to believe that. You need to feel the fear and go through it anyway, because fear cannot be gone around. You can't go around fear. You got to go through fear. And what you're fearful of, you find once you've walked it, you actually overcome it. Fear will always come. So what are the coping mechanisms that you will put in place that resonate with you, which we will talk through, that you will hold on to whenever you feel fearful? So hopefully that explains the topic of fear, and that's how I would tackle that.
Okay. All right. I'm not seeing any questions from those that have joined the conversation. What can we expect then from the Bold Woman in 2022?
Well, the Bold Woman is growing from strength to strength. Our next Bold Woman session here in Johannesburg is on the 22nd of January, and the spaces are very, very limited. Because it's so intimate, we don't have more than 10 ladies around the table. So that is what's coming up soon. And then we are planning to have a destination venue. So we're hoping that by the end of 2022, with all of us that have been so closed in, we can all travel to a point and really experience something great. The other thing that we're doing, we're trying to add a little more, where you and I have been having conversations about a coffee cup session, where people can get to hear a few snippets. We're looking at having cocktail sessions. We're looking at having breakfast sessions, because not everybody always has a full day. But if you don't have the full day, then you won't get the full essence of the Bold Woman. But you will get snippets to be able to align yourself to be in a position to then join the full session. But what we also do is I have one-on-one sessions. And the one-on-one sessions is, some people prefer to be completely private. So I do have those sessions where you can be in touch with me, and I can be bold enough to allow you to be bold in one-on-one sessions. So it's very much like a coaching session, but it's really just steering you in the direction that you choose to take.
Okay, there's a number of people that joined us late. I can see Nicole. Nicole is a very good friend of mine. I miss you dearly. Just to give a quick summary. The Bold Woman is a program, and I'm labeling it, not Medina. That allows you to unpack what you're going through or what you've gone through over a period of time. And the intention, of course, is to have a conversation, to face your fears, and then hopefully through the process, you can begin to live a better life. If you weren't with us at the beginning, I had indicated that I'm an HR practitioner. I teach on goal setting, and I'm in conversation this evening with Medina, because a lot of what she's saying, a lot of her message, her program in terms of Bold resonates with goal setting. And so I decided to have a conversation with her today. Medina, is there anything else that you want to add? I don't have any questions. So from those that are listening in, is there anything else that you would like to add in terms of the Bold?
I just think as women, we need to stand together. We need to take bold steps. We need to plan. We need to be true to ourselves. Just let go of what society thinks of you and allow yourself just to be. We need to live in the now. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is something new, so embrace now and really just cut through those fears. and be true to yourself. Because if you're not true to yourself, you can't be true to anybody else. And I'd love for people to follow us. Our social media platforms is Bold Woman, and when I say woman with an E, as in many women, so Bold Woman _SA, and that is on Instagram, Bold Woman, just on Facebook. And yes, be in touch with us, connect with us, join our conversations, tell us what it is that you want to hear more of, and help us to share. The other thing that I would like to talk about, like I say, there's the one-on-ones that they can connect with me, but I'd like to give away a 30-minute session with myself. But there's something that comes with it. So the lucky person would need to go onto the Bold Woman platform on Instagram. They'd have to share what they took out of this session of you and I, the discussions and what stood out for them most. They'd have to tag a friend, and then we will choose one lucky winner that can engage with me, and I'm open to give away a 30-minute session with myself.
Okay. So if you're still on this call and you want to have a session with Medina, you can win 30 minutes with her by going onto Bold Woman _SA. Write a comment and maybe you would win the session. Medina, we've still got 9 minutes left.
Sure.
I want to go back to the question because I really want the listeners this evening to really understand your journey and how you got to the Bold Woman.
Okay, so would you like me to give? Oh, I'm sorry.
For me, you've given us a nice overview, but I want to know how you got to the Bold Woman.
Okay, so you want to know a little bit about my journey, a little bit about my lifestyle, a snippet of my testimony.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so like I said, a young girl from Bulawayo, a hustler, got married at the tender age of 18. Engaged at 18, married at 19, and had Sharice at 20. And then moved to Johannesburg when she was only 2 years old, hustling. Absolutely a hustle. They'd never faced apartheid, so I was quite taken by this whole color barrier. I think I was protected from it in Zimbabwe, and went through a divorce, and that's from, it was a long, awful process because I actually was the defaulting party in this case. Normally people shout out and it's a man that's deceitful and, but this time it was me. I didn't know who I was. I was looking for life. I was searching, and I was in this amazing advertising agency where it all looked like glitz and glamour, and I found my life absolutely boring, and I stepped out of the norm. And when you step out of the norm, the rejection, I had come from an Islamic background. So there was rejection and rejection. When you're rejected from your own family, rejected by your dad, the pain, my upbringing was so solid. My father was doing right, but he was strict. That's his way of upbringing. But for me, that felt like absolute rejection because it was just way too strict for me. So the reason that I even got married was to get out of my situation. I just wanted to run. And I'm not saying that the man I married wasn't an amazing human being, because he was, but he became the victim. He became the victim. Why? Because I didn't know who I was, and I just needed a way out. But in saying all of that, fast forward, got to South Africa, had to hustle. Fake it until you make it. I looked at a computer when I went for my first job, walking down the Carlton Center. I just saw buildings. I came from a small town of Bulawayo. There were no highways. But I was resilient and tenacity, and I pushed forward, and I got a job. And when I looked at a computer, I'd never seen a computer. I'd worked on a typewriter. And I was, this computer's so different to mine, just show me how it works, because I knew how to work a keyboard, and I was self-taught. So you have to push yourself. And I pushed myself and I pushed myself from one thing to another, and that's how I found my way. I went through a divorce. That was one of the most painful moments. Painful. Whether you are the one that creates it or not, it's second pain to death. I resonate with any woman out there that has gone through a divorce, any woman that has been rejected, any woman that has gone through extramarital affairs and had to deal with stuff. All of this stuff, I relate to it. And I think that's the difference, because from an empathy perspective, I can feel what people are feeling. So your story may not be exactly like mine, but I can resonate. And when I share my truth and how I managed to overcome, it helps many women. So coming back, coming from Islam and then not knowing where I am and finding myself at rock bottom, strapped to a hospital bed because I really wanted to just take my life, and then finding Christ and giving my life to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and finding new life and not judging any other religious denomination, and then going through rejection again from a change of religion. It was unbearable. But keep on falling forward, being resistant, planning, having those goals, knowing the direction I need to take, unpacking, falling forward. And this is what I've done. And I don't know how much time we have, because I can go on and on and on. My story is the whole 55 years old.
Yeah.
So there's lots to share.
And that's exactly what I was looking for this evening. I wanted you to share a bit, because at the beginning I was getting an overview, but I really wanted to understand, and I wanted the listeners as well to understand. We all have stories, and I think that we all attach ourselves to different things. So somebody might attach themselves to goal setting, and that is what I did, and that is what worked for me. But somebody listening on this call might resonate with your story and say, well, maybe I should try the Bold Woman program, and maybe that is what will work for me. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I hope that whoever was on this call, they've taken something away from our conversation. I do think that your process is brilliant, and it can work. But as I said, we all have different things, and I initially wanted to connect with you because a lot of what you say, a lot of what you're talking about, a lot of your message, your actual program dovetails nicely into goal setting. For those of you that follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you know that I'm a goal setter, and so I wanted to have a conversation with Medina just to unpack what she's doing to create a better life. So thank you very much.
Lou, just before we cut off, just for those that hopped on now and don't really know me, just to also have an understanding that that's from a personal aspect, but being the entrepreneur that I've been and being blessed enough to have traveled the world and been in different spaces and even won the official World Cup FIFA fan park, and then going to Brazil to help the Brazilians from an entrepreneurial perspective when it comes to looking at a business and overcoming challenges within small businesses, and showing up as the best version of yourself. I really believe that I have the tools in those areas as well to help many women to stand true to who you are.
Thank you, Medina. I think that, I think we've left, you've shared a couple of polls with us. If you're looking to connect with Bold Woman, we had indicated earlier that the handle is Bold Woman _essay. So please connect with them, whether it's on a personal basis or whether it is just for some sort of assistance in terms of business. Please connect with Medina. But from my side, thank you so much for having the conversation with me, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Loueen, and all the best in the goal setting. You know, we just continue to pray over it and ask the Lord to guide us, cover us, and take us from strength to strength. Because I think we're all bold women and we're all here to make a difference.
Thank you so much. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.